The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards to face the camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
Gay. With Spider-Man No Way Home coming out soon, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse being revealed recently, needless to say, Spider-Man fans are eating good. Business is booming. Having reviewed all the other theatrically released Spider-Man movies, it's time to talk about the last one, Into the Spider-Verse.
Damn, girl! You grew up!
So Into the Spider-Verse is an animated movie focusing on Miles Morales. Basically, in his world, Spider-Man gets killed by Kingpin, who is trying to open a portal to another world. And because of this experiment, multiple Spider people are coming through to his world. So you got an older, jaded Peter Parker, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Woman, Spider-Pig, and Penny Parker. Also, Miles was bitten by a radioactive spider, so he's now developing his own powers. And now they all must team up to stop Kingpin from opening another portal because it could create a black hole, as well as get everyone back to their respective universes. Now, I've seen many people regard this as the best Spider-Man movie of all time, and I find it hard to disagree with. What makes fans love it is that it celebrates everything Spider-Man. It makes references to the movies, comics, and not to mention, you see various other Spider people from different universes. They even reference that Spider-Man meme at the end. So for a Spider-Man fan, this movie is a blast to watch, because you see all that and you understand it. But even for those who aren't big Spider-Man fans, you still get to watch a great movie. It's not reliant on the references, and you don't need to know who the rest of the Spider people are to have fun with it. You basically just need to know who Peter Parker is. And considering there's been 3 live-action versions in the last 20 years, and he's one of the most popular comic book characters ever, majority of people know who he is. The references are really just a cherry on top, because at the heart of it is a story of a kid thrown into a situation where he learns what it means to be a hero, and slowly throughout the movie he becomes more confident and answers the call to action. It's great seeing all the different Spider-Men, but the main story and characters are still good enough to keep you invested. I even like what they did with Kingpin. They gave him an interesting motivation for wanting to open these different portals. He just wants to get his family back, and will stop at nothing to do it, even if it means killing millions. And I love the connection and relationship between Miles and his uncle Aaron, and the reveal that he's Prowler. These little things make the characters so much better than your stock generic villains. And the same thing goes for the protagonist. Miles and all the other Spider-Men are great. And honestly, it's just really awesome watching them all interact with each other. There's actually a good video by Godzilla Mendoza where he talks about how this movie saved Miles Morales as a character. I don't want to rehash everything he said, so I recommend you check it out. But basically, they didn't know what to do with Miles in the comics, and he was a very uninteresting character. And there really wasn't much separating him from Peter Parker besides a few little details. When you really break him down, he was basically the same character, just a more uninteresting version. Although here, they actually made him into someone different, and made him way more interesting. And it really emphasized that it could be anyone under the mask, which I believe was something similar that Stan Lee actually said.
He could be black under that, he could be red, he could be yellow, he could belong to any race. And that wasn't done purposely, it was done accidentally. But I think it was the best thing we did, making him so that he could be anybody under that costume.
Speaking of which, I love the cameo that he had.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
Not only is it funny, but it has a double meaning. What's crazy is this movie is so well paced and filled with so much entertainment that the 2-hour runtime just flew by. It was always engaging, it had a great balance of humor and emotional and serious moments. This movie really hooked me in. Also, I love the animation style. Instead of being a movie that's just animated, they decided to really give it the aesthetic of a comic book. You get the thought bubbles, the sound effects on screen, numerous edits to make it look like a comic panel. They really used the medium to their advantage, with so many little details that upon rewatching it, I appreciate it even more. It is a great looking movie. So yeah, I absolutely love its visual style. It's not flat or boring. And not to mention, the music is fucking great. Not only do they use good licensed songs from artists like Biggie Smalls, Post Malone, Lil Wayne, Juice WRLD, Cordae, but the original score is also really good. If I could complain about anything, I guess it's that the other Spider people aren't really dived into as much as both the Peter Parkers, Gwen, and of course Miles. And I would love to see more of them. But it's a small complaint, because other than that, they're good, and I enjoy seeing them. Not gonna lie, I don't have much to say about this movie. It's great, and if you've seen it, you know why it's great. If you haven't seen it, then what are you waiting for? Go watch it. You can stream it, rent it, or buy it. It's definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. They say there's no such thing as a perfect movie. I say they've never seen Boondock Saints or Into the Spider-Verse. I'm really looking forward to the sequel to see where they go with it. The first one set a really high bar, so it looks like they have a lot to live up to. But with a sequel on the way, I have just one question. Where is my femboy Spider-Gwen?
I like the pussy and I like the tree. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. You're Peter Parker.
Oh, would you like some champagne?
I'm driving.